What if you had a step-by-step playbook on how to coach your employees and team members for success? I'm talking about setting them up with goals that would stretch them, not break them, while achieving the goals that you have for them and for your organization. Hi, I'm Marissa Santoro, and I've been helping mid-career managers and senior leaders and organizations coach their leaders for success for over a decade now here at In Our Shoes. So I'd like to share with you 3 ways, and really 3 missed opportunities that I often see leaders not take, which can really help their direct reports really step into their fullest potential and achieve the results for themselves that they'd like to achieve. And one of the things that we often see as a missed opportunity is providing constructive feedback. So what I'm talking about feedback is not giving feedback in a way that's both clear and supportive, or a little bit overly critical. So when we talk about feedback, there's this expression that's often referred to as the feedback sandwich. So when you're sitting down with one of your direct reports and you're sharing some feedback, you want to layer it with some positive feedback, then the critical feedback, and then ending it with positive feedback. So going straight into the things initially of what you really like about what they've been doing, then sharing at least 1 to 3 areas where you feel like they really need to be aware of critical feedback that you would like them to improve on, and then closing it up with a positive. Thank you for sitting here and for taking the time to meet with me and having an open mind, and for all the great work that you've done. Whatever it is, you just want to close it off with something positive, right? And really feel it. It has to feel genuine. Now, I know a lot of leaders that share, well, you know what, Marissa, I do give feedback. I am doing that for my people. And that might very well be, but it may not be coming across as genuine, as authentic, and really taking the time to think about the critical feedback that you want to give. Is it just to accomplish your one end goal, which is, I don't know, maybe to increase or focus on a given metric that you've already set them up for? Or, maybe it's something more internal, right? Maybe they're not aware of something that is rubbing another person on the team the wrong way. These are all really valuable things that you want to bring into the discussion, right? These are intentional. But if you don't take the time to really think about the impact, right? The impact of, well, let's just fast forward and assume your employee does improve in those areas. How is that going to make an impact for the team, right, as a whole? How is that going to make an impact for your relationship with them? And how is it going to make an impact for your overall, the goals that you have for them to achieve for the organization? So really opening that up and really asking yourself, before you even sit down and give the feedback, to really ask yourself, what would be a really, really big win for me to share this? And you know what? A big win doesn't necessarily translate to something that has to be this big overarching goal, right? You might share something so subtle, like more of a mindset piece of advice, like having your employee look at from a different perspective, right? And on a given project, that's completely internal, right? It's not observable. It's not something we can pick up with the 5 senses. But having that conversation about mindset, that could actually make a big impact in the bigger picture, right? On the project with the team dynamic. So really being intentional with the things that you do want to share, and checking in to make sure that you're not being overcritical. A good way of doing this is just writing down the points that you want to make, reading them back to yourself, and really asking yourself, is this something, they have that expression, pick your battles, right? Carefully. There really is some truth in that. When you're talking about some concerns or just again, critical feedback, you really want to make sure that you're focused on, well, fast forward, what is the impact of seeing improvement in this area, right? And then working backwards. So it doesn't have to be these lofty big ticker things that you want to share with your employee. But it definitely has to be tied to some impact, and that really goes back to sharing the why, right? Sharing why you're sharing this, and giving them a little insight into the bigger picture as you're having this discussion. So that's one area that we do see is a great opportunity to really coach your people for success.